There really is a lot that goes into chemical peels, and I think having an understanding of this information will really help protect your investment and yield the best results possible out of your experience. And that's why I've gathered as much information as I can throughout my education and my trainings to give you a breakdown of this information. My name's Julia. Hi, hello. I am a licensed esthetician in the state of Colorado. This is Chemical Peels Part 1, where we're going to be going over what chemical peels are and the expectations that you can set around them. And then there's going to be a Part 2, which is pre and post care, because you will see it's very important. And then there's going to be a Part 3, which is actually performing a chemical peel. I know I'm going to forget a few things, but here we go. It dates back like thousands and thousands of years ago. Egyptians in Greece, in Rome, even in Babylon, in India, where they would soak and bathe in like sour milk and wine and grapes, which is lactic and tartaric acid as we know it today. So the idea of using exfoliation to change the appearance and the function of the skin is definitely nothing new, which I thought that was really cool. Then this part of history really scared people out of chemical peels, and those were phenol pills. And that is whenever a medical physician would put a chemical peel on your face that would go really, really deep and create a really intense wound. And that's whenever you would get the appearance of like your face burning off and it being really, really red. And a lot of people, unfortunately, still have that image of chemical peels. Professional product lines have come a really long way since phenol peels. And nowadays, they put a lot of healing ingredients into their formulations. So while the peel will exfoliate, it's also really going to help the skin recover. Chemical peels are whenever you apply an acidic solution onto your skin and it creates a controlled wound. And then your skin has to then heal from that wound. And in that healing process is whenever the change happens. So it is a form of advanced exfoliation because we are exfoliating that top layer of the epidermis out. And then we are also stimulating new collagen and elastin and new cell renewal at the bottom. So it's working from the top to bottom and bottom to top. And whenever you have something that's working in tandem like that, you're going to get really amazing results. So it's a lot of fun to play with because of that. Okay, so now the benefits, which is a lot of fun to talk about because chemical peels are very corrective and they also can really help maintain and prevent future conditions. Generally speaking, all chemical peels are going to help with new cell renewal, building collagen, building elastin, and creating the healing response within our skin. Now, depending on what acids are used, it's really gonna help determine what condition is being targeted. But chemical peels are amazing for acne scarring, texture, hyperpigmentation, fine lines and wrinkles, dull, lackluster skin. Because there are so many different conditions that we can be working with and working to heal, it's really best to pick 1 to 2 conditions and goals at a time that you want to target. It makes it more efficient, it makes your results more achievable. Way better to be intentional and focus on 1 or 2 goals as opposed to 5 different goals. Because, I mean, we all want glowy, healthy, clear, beautiful skin. But the way we get there is going to be a little bit different depending on what conditions we're each dealing with and what the uniqueness is of our skin at any given time. There's a lot of variety nowadays in chemical peels, which is pretty awesome. We're gonna have a AHAs, which are alpha hydroxy acids. We're going to have BHAs, which are beta hydroxy acids. We're going to have enzymes. And whenever people hear the word acid, I think they get freaked out. But it's really not that scary. A lot of the acids are derived from things that we know. So for example, in the alpha hydroxy acid category, there's things like glycolic acid, which is derived from sugarcane. There's lactic, which is derived from milk. There's malic, which is apple. Mandelic, which is almonds. Willow bark is the natural derivative of salicylic acid. So that's kind of cool. It's also what has been used to make aspirin. So if you have an aspirin allergy, don't use willow bark or salicylic. Then enzymes are going to be kind of our next umbrella, and enzymes are fermented fruits. So typical ones that are used are pumpkin, papaya, pineapple, sometimes cranberry, and each enzyme does a slightly different thing and has a little bit of a different function or affinity. So pumpkin is filled with zinc. It's going to be really healing. Pineapple is going to be really brightening to the skin. Papaya is going to be really reparative and cellular damage. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of different formulations. So all of this to say there's so many different types of chemical peels, and finding one that is right for you, for your skin type, for your conditions is all in a day's work of your esthetician, and can be a lot of fun in planning your Chem Peel series treatment. So this is like the big thing to talk about whenever it comes to chemical peels, which is going to be setting expectations. We're going to need some more coffee for this topic. It's cold now, but whatever. Number one is book a consultation. Don't just go book a chemical peel with a provider you've never seen before, with products that you've never experienced before. Definitely get a consultation first and foremost. The consultation is what is going to be unique to you, where your provider can really look at your skin, pick the best acid that's going to be used, the best chem peel that's going to be used, to do a patch test on you, and get to really prepare you for what you can expect along the journey. Because it's not a one size fits all, and it also is not a one and done type of treatment. You're not typically going to receive one chemical peel and all of your dreams just come true. That's not the way chemical peels work. So book a consultation and then look at your schedule and really set aside some time to receive your chemical peel. Don't book your first peel or any of your peels before you go on a big vacation, or before you know you're going to go on a big hike, or before you are going to go to your like hot yoga or spin class. And this really kind of touches on a topic of post-care, which we will go over in our next video. But pre and post care is what we're going to be talking about. But that's one expectation that I definitely want to give you ahead of time, is set aside a time in your schedule where you can heal from your chemical peel. Because as we talked about, chemical peels are a controlled wound, and you need time to heal from that. And everybody is different. So that kind of leads me into the next bullet point of expectations. The experience of each peel is really going to vary person to person, and even experience from experience, like treatment to treatment. With the brand that I use, the way that they trained us, they said that you can have some salsa at the table, and you can have 4 different people eating that salsa, and there's going to be a different like spice level from each person. So everybody is going to experience things and sensations different. So, it's best to not look and see how he or she responded to something and be like, I'm going to go in and have that same experience, which is why the consultation is so important, because that way you can get geared up to what you specifically could be experiencing. But that's definitely something to know, is it's not like a point blank situation each and every time. There's going to be variations. Also, there are visible and non-visible results when it comes to your chemical peels. So visible results are going to be things like acne, getting rid of acne, getting rid of hyperpigmentation, getting rid of fine lines and wrinkles. Those are all obviously visible results. Then we're going to have non-visible results, which is going to be new cell renewal that's happening at the bottom. Whenever we are having new cell renewal, our skin is functioning at a more healthier pace. And those are type of things that you can't see. New cell renewal, new collagen, new elastin, you can't see, but nonetheless, it is there. Peeling is a side effect, it is not a result. So just because you don't peel does not mean you're not getting benefits from your chemical peel. So one of the things that chemical peels is targeting is increasing your cellular renewal factor, which what that is your little baby cells that are at the bottom of your epidermis working their way up to the top of your epidermis where you can actually see them. So this rate slows down, the cell renewal rate, it slows down as we age. So as we get older, the process of your baby cells working their way to the top slows down significantly, which is one of the reasons that people can have that like dull, lackluster appearance, is because it's just an accumulation of spent, just dead cells sitting on top that need to be exfoliated off for the new baby cells to work their way to the surface and be exposed. But, and this is another important expectation, is it can take a while to get there. The skin cell cycle, the cell renewal factor, happens on average around a month. But again, that slows as we age. So with this to be said, you can really see results from your chemical peels like months out. It's not just, as I was saying, the one size fits all where you can just slap one peel on and you will be good to go and all of your dreams will come true. That's not the way chemical peels work, because a lot of the time you need a series. Whenever we are working on a series, expect to get chemical peels a little bit more frequently until those conditions are corrected. So yeah, that's just a huge thing in expectations, is long-term results here. Whenever we're thinking of chemical peels, I want us to get out of the mindset of one and done. Whenever we are talking about chemical peels, we are talking about long-term results and switching up our home care to get those results as well. Okay, this is another important one, is stuff can work its way to the surface. It could get a little bit worse before it gets better. So there can be acne hiding beneath the surface, and hyperpigmentation, those dark spots, the sun damage, oftentimes lives in our dermis. And so it's going to work its way to the surface of the skin before it gets exfoliated and pushed out. So that's something to know, is it could get worse before it gets better. So again, that's tailoring off of, this is a long-term marathon, not a sprint. But it's important to know what could potentially happen in your healing journey whenever you're getting chemical peels. Okay, it can take some prep work to get your skin ready to receive a chemical peel. Again, why the consultation is going to be super important. A lot of the times there's going to be things that we need to work on before the skin is actually ready to receive a chemical peel. An example of that is acne. Whenever there's really like pustular, inflamed acne, we want to clear that up a little bit before you are actually receiving your peel. And why? The reason is because we never want to spread bacteria. That's just an example of how there can be some prep work that needs to be done before you can receive your chemical peel. So also, something else to kind of tag along to this, which is just planting some seeds for our next video because it's so important, is there is pre and post care that goes into chemical peels that will really determine your results. So that's going to be a whole video that we talk about next time, because there's a lot that goes into that and it warrants its own video. But yeah, no, there's some prep work pre and post peel. So, get ready, build yourself up a little bit, amp yourself up. Speaking of, more coffee. I keep saying that all of these are like super important because they are, but the next important thing is downtime, the concept of downtime. So All downtime means is the time it takes for which your skin to heal. So the more intense and severe the chemical peel or the treatment that you received, the more downtime you're going to need. But downtime does not necessarily mean that you need to hide away in your house for 2 weeks. Downtime can mean just slight adjustments in your routine, or maybe doing a couple of preventative measures by not going to that hot yoga class that day. Concept of downtime, that your skin is going to need some time to heal, is important and definitely is something to consider before you get your chemical peel, because even if it's just a few days for downtime, it's still something that is going to be your responsibility to maintain even when you go home from your peel. So always something to think about. Okay, it was time to put the hair to put the hair back up. Now that was honestly a lot of it. I just kind of wanted to go over the expectations that you can expect from chemical peels, because I feel like there's not a lot of information out there talking about what it's actually like to go through the process of receiving a chemical peel. So hopefully this was helpful. Then, like anything else, skincare is a journey and it's something to have fun with. It's something that's going to require patience and time and a lot of communication with your esthetician, because things can not be the same all of the time. The experience that you're going to have with chemical peels, like you may have to work some stuff out and figure out what works for your skin before you actually get to that amazing result that you really want. So be patient, find somebody to work with, know that this is a journey, don't be too hard on yourself, and use it as an opportunity to learn a little bit about yourself. Keep an eye out for video number 2, where we will be going all over pre and post care.